Right
Dude,
on, man.
yeah, that song was cool, man. I see why you chose them to play bass on your record, because that's funky as hell.
Honestly,
It's very funky.
They're funky, and Kai, he's so like knowledgeable and like so much music theory. I feel like he's one of those guys that like he doesn't even have to know what you play. He just has to hear for like 3 seconds.
He'll figure it out.
And he'll be like, oh, that's what it is,
dude. That's
cool.
like I aspire to be, that well in tune with my instrument,
Me too, man.
Like it takes so long to like really learn. Like
he doesn't even play bass.
Is he a guitarist?
Yeah, he's a guitarist.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, Kai's a gnarly guitarist and
guitarly.
His vocals. I'm pretty sure that he's the person in my life that I know personally that can hit the highest note consistently.
Hit those high ones, man.
He's like he can hit some high notes, and they're like melodic, not like screeching high notes. For real. It's pretty impressive. Just like, because I mean, there's a lot of people who like just when they're always reaching for the high notes,
Yeah.
But they're always underneath him. And if that makes sense, and that's pretty cool.
No, I feel that for sure, because I know anytime I'm like trying to record my own music and stuff like that, I'm like, maybe we'll bring that down a half step so I don't have to, so I can maybe hit that note.
Yeah, man.
But it's like
he has a good technique that like just really like kind of like just mellows like the high notes out to a point where they're like tolerable for the ear, because like
they're not piercing.
Yeah, they're not piercing.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Honestly, you're not getting no piercing today.
Yeah.
It's
they're good guys. Then I know they have a really great music video coming up. It's
nice.
gonna be really, really funny.
Yeah.
Really great.
Hippity hoppity. Look out for Toad shit coming up soon.
Look out for that shit.
A little plug for my boys.
Yeah.
Well, and who's playing on the keys too?
So I honestly don't even know. They probably got some shit in the mix that I haven't talked to them about. But
because it's like there was some stuff with the keys there that I was like really vibing to.
They're funky. They're really tight. They're well rounded, and all the guys are great individuals. So I'm happy to give them a little spotlight whenever
Hell
I can.
Yeah, shout. See them when you can.
Yeah, they seem like a really cool group of guys.
Definitely.
Great, nice guys.
Very down to earth, and they're killer musicians.
Yeah, Detroit's got a great music scene right now. It's really cool, really special, and I'm very excited.
I feel like rock adjacent music is kind of coming back in the city, because it was like I feel like people kind of like discredited it for a while. They're like, oh, not a whole lot. Like obviously, techno has always been a big thing with Detroit
for sure.
And like there's been a lot of like Detroit rappers and stuff like that have gotten big recently.
Ray, all those guys.
And it feels like the like rock centric kind of like guitar music has kind of gone to the back burner for a little while.
Yeah. I believe that we are at the very beginning of the new renaissance for rock and roll.
I think so, because I know a ton. Like I've only been in the area for a year.
Yeah.
And I am already getting to know a ton of really, really cool punk and rock and metal bands and stuff like that.
For sure.
And it really feels like in the next few years we're gonna kind of like, and we're already seeing it with like Saturdays at Your Place. They're not a Detroit band, but they're like a Southern Michigan band.
Beautiful.
And like a bunch of other bands like that are really like finally sort of starting to get out there and becoming more of a thing.
For sure.
And I am here for it. I really want to.
Yeah,
I really want to watch everybody ride that wave, because I think that in the next couple of years, Detroit's got something to say. I think.
Yeah, it does.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think it's honestly like the rock and roll capital of the United States right now, and nobody knows it, and that's the best thing about it.
I've heard a lot of people saying that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame shouldn't be in Cleveland and that they should move it to Detroit.
Bro,
100%.
They have who they got? They got Dolly Parton in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, man. That's just the music Hall of Fame.
It's all about the spirit, not just the genre.
Is it though?
If it's about the spirit, then I say that that's legit, because Dolly Parton is definitely like,
of course,
Dolly Parton,
the musical spirit
in music for sure, but rock and roll.
They gotta change the name. It's gotta be the Music Hall of Fame.
It's the Music Hall of Fame.
You know? know, because
I mean,
you've got. I think you've got the Bee Gees in there.
They got Run DMC. They got Biggie. They got Tupac.
Yeah. It's just the music Hall of Fame. It's the
music Hall of Fame these days, and I'm okay with that. Let's just change the name, everybody.
Okay.
That's all. That's all I gotta say about that.
It's the same sort of thing as like I'm. If we're just gonna start bitching about stuff,
honestly, if Willie Nelson's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
because
excuse me, but Willie Nelson's not rock and roll people.
You also see like the Grammys always snubbing rock artists. It's like they have so many categories.
It's a renaissance.
That's a whole different bullshit story.
Honestly, we're just crowning,
See, at least the Rock Hall of Fame, they give like a fair amount of artists their say. Like this year's inductees, there's like 20 people. And the Grammys is a little different. It's like there's only one best album of the year or one best rock song of the year. So it's really subjective. But
all art is subjective, though.
Not really. So that shit's always like, I don't know. Yeah, man. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's more about spirit than just a genre.
But just change the fucking name, then, please.
Change the name.
You all agree with me. Like, there's no debate about this. If it's gonna be
everybody listening is like, yeah, they got a point.
If it's gonna be the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you don't put Dolly Parton in it and call it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like, it's just the Music Hall of Fame. Don't get me wrong. She so much. Her country licks and her tunes are beautiful, but they're bluegrass country. Like it's not rock and roll,
Yeah.
Like you can't debate that, but it's beautiful music that everyone can listen to, and it's timeless.
It deserves to go in a Hall of Fame.
Cleveland,
most
really? Cleveland,
dude. They have George Harrison's first ever guitar and
I've seen it.
Ever guitar and John Lennon's Rooftop Casino from the Beatles.
He stripped. Okay,
it's in Cleveland, Ohio.
A little fun fact about that stripped casino from John Lennon. He only stripped it because when he was in India, he was like, "Hey Donovan, how do you get your tone?" He was like, "Hey man, you have all this lacquer and all this bullshit on your guitar. Just make it raw wood and it'll ring out naturally like it was supposed to from the earth, man."
That just gets back to the fucking guitarist tone wood debate.
Honestly,
it's bullshit.
I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious.
But it's in Cleveland. What the hell?
Honestly, all they got is like they're like spaghetti spots. They
don't even have LeBron James anymore.
And they only had them in Akron.
My boy Jake from the Marrier, who was on the last episode, is going to be pissed because he's from Cleveland.
Ohio's cool. Shout out Ohio.
No, shout out Ohio. They have the Imagination Station.
God, the Black Keys came from Ohio.
Honestly,
man. They're
LeBron
fucking...
the Black Keys. I love Ohio. I don't even hate Ohio.
It's great. It's just funny that the Rock and Roll
but
Hall
it's hard to find liquor there, and no one can judge me for that.
Listen, we like to clown on Ohio, but Ohio are our friends in Midwesternness.
They really are. We have a Michigan Ohio handshake that only Michigan Ohioans know. If you know, you know. Don't ask about it. Be about it.
We'll tell you about it when you're older.
So, do you guys have anything else that you want to say about the record before we sign off for the end of the
episode? There was
a
lot of heart, a lot of soul, and there's only more coming to make you move. In the beginning of this music renaissance, I'm happy to be the little chip on your shoulder when you're just getting used to this new age we're living in, peoples.
All right.
Yeah, man. It's a good record. It took a long time coming, man. There's a lot of blood, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, man.
That ain't no joke.
It ain't no joke, man. It took a little something to make something on this one, but we're really excited on how it came out, and
it's full steam ahead.
It's full steam ahead. We got more songs in the works, and we're excited to release a whole album soon.
Are we thinking the full record's going to come out this year?
It's coming out this year.
All right, good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I will definitely make sure that everybody who follows the podcast knows about that.
Thanks, Ryan.
Until then, this has been the Fresh Finds Podcast, the show about listening to new music with good people.
Absolutely. Y'all have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.